This predictive model flags a severe vulnerability for Fullerton in May 2026, forecasting exactly 40 commercial and residential burglaries. This intelligence enables preemptive deployment against these specific threats. Activity remains persistent throughout the month, with incidents occurring on 22 of the 31 days. Command staff must treat the entire month as a continuous high alert period. Relying on standard baseline resources will exhaust patrol units as they react to a high-volume, steady stream of calls. To allocate those elevated resources efficiently, we have to isolate the specific days carrying the highest predictive risk. Looking at this calendar heat map, the vulnerability concentrates heavily in the second week, specifically May 10th and 11th. The threat then peaks on May 27th, which accounts for 4 separate forecasted incidents in a single 24-hour period. This 24-hour horizontal bar chart reveals distinct time-of-day clusters where suspects strike. The midnight to 8 a.m. window drives nearly 40% of forecasted volume. A secondary vulnerability opens between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., tracking with residential properties left vacant during working hours. Shift commanders must restrict approved time off on the 10th, 11th, and 27th. Personnel schedules require immediate staggering to guarantee coverage during both the overnight spikes and the midday residential vulnerabilities. The temporal data tells us when to deploy, but the predictive model also generates precise coordinates to dictate exactly where. This map plots the forecasted coordinates. The threat avoids a random citywide distribution, instead forming highly dense, localized geographic clusters. The risk is tightly bound. The predictive heat map defines a strict perimeter containing the overwhelming majority of incidents between the 33.86 and 33.87 latitudinal lines. Randomly dispersing patrol units across the entire district will waste manpower. Proactive routing must be strictly confined to these defined geographic boundaries. To disrupt this forecasted wave, command staff must implement 3 immediate deployment directives. First, freeze all non-essential leave for May 27th. Second, reallocate manpower to maximize visible patrol presence during the critical midnight to 8 a.m. window. Third, restrict proactive patrols strictly to the latitude heat map zones. Executing deployment based on these specific temporal and spatial data points allows for disruption of the burglary wave before the first incident occurs.